Yeah, welcome. I don't know how they expect us to carry on with all of these shenanigans. Welcome, Jeff. Welcome, Godless Scummer. Finally, AITA. It's been a long time coming.
I know we've been trying to find a little date for about 6 months or something to do
I know.
this now. It's been
I know. That's about how long I've been doing it, just a little over, because I
yeah.
remember you were one of the first people I wanted to get on, and I was like, I was hunting you down. I
Yeah.
was like,
I'm,
but
I'm very very briefly going to stick my camera on, okay, to show you this
sure,
one of the silly little things I got for
absolutely.
silly
It's
little thing I
Christmas.
got
Go
for
ahead,
Chris.
Jeff.
Silly
Go
little thing
ahead.
I got for Christmas.
Yes, and we're on it. I love that. I actually love that. That's pretty cool. That is. So,
Yeah, there we go.
everyone, meet Jeff, Godless
Hello.
Scummer. Welcome, everybody in chat. Welcome to everyone except for my rogue mod. We're going to talk, dude. We're going to talk. It's like, after the thing. Do you see that shenanigans going on in there? I have to blue the whole chat to protect them from the
Yeah.
mod.
Tonight is officially Whack-a-Jay night. On
It's
Jay's.
Can we wait until that? Jay, we're supposed to stream at 8. I don't know how I'm going to get through it if you're going to be a bad boy. I don't know. Yes, you were yelled at. You got to eat pineapple pizza too, dude. Oh no, you got to drink coffee on stream, Jay, because you showed your face. We see the difference is Jeff actually asked permission before he did it. He didn't like go rogue. Like, it's not a rogue thing, It's a little different, But what am I gonna? No, I'm gonna tell you. This is It's been a very strange holiday, but a very good one. I really enjoyed being part of Purple's Christmas relay. What a nice way to get to meet so many other creators and to just meet so many people in the chat from the different communities. It was really kind of cool. You were there a lot, Jeff, too.
Yeah, I streamed myself as part of that as well, and that's
Yeah.
Purple's been doing that about, I think this is the 4th year they've been doing it.
Yeah, the 4th year.
And
Yeah.
it's just a really good thing, and I was actually quite honoured to be a part of it. So
I hope to do it again next year. It was my first year, but I really enjoyed it also. It was just heartwarming, Let's say some people have no place to go, family strife, things, you don't want to get into the hard conversations around the holidays, so you avoid it. So it was kind of nice
yeah,
that everybody had something to do. And so many of us were napping and then coming back. It looked like we were all up for 48 hours because everybody was everywhere.
yeah,
you know.
yeah. You spoiled Stall a little bit though. So
Yeah.
he likes your Claire's pronunciation of a certain word. We're probably not going to say just yet on the stream. So
Oh no. Okay.
yeah,
No, we're not going to
he
say that.
rather
But could
enjoys
you?
that.
But yes, he did, and he's lovely actually. He came up on one of our Tits Out streams with Jen, and that's when I met him. It was pretty cool, and he took a lot of abuse from another account, and I was like stunned, and he was like really good humored about it. So I'd say his fortitude for humor and patience are good.
Sky Niece.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say, but
I just knew straight away. You said it took a lot of abuse from another Chris. That's
how I met her.
Always
with her tearing him up. Yeah, that's how I met her. It was
always busts his chops. Sometimes a little too much for my likings, occasionally.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Well, just meeting her, it was like, I know she doesn't mean it like it's serious. Now I do, but when that was my first time being on stream with her, and I'd never met her before, and I was just like, okay, like I didn't know what to do. Like the bear doesn't get stunned into silence very often. Like not at all, actually.
Well,
but I didn't.
And when you did it by one of your fellow Jersey girls.
Yeah, I know, but she threatened to kill me with a bat. It was funny. That's how I met her. It's always nice to meet another Jersey girl and they get threatened to get beat up with a bat like within minutes. It was cool. It was just like kind of odd, but what are you gonna do? No, nobody is abused him. There was just like
Nice.
a verbal little back and forthy kind of thing. But he's cool, Cindy. He's fine. Last I saw, I think he liked our post, so maybe he'll be around later. But on that, I'm going to read the first one because we're actually supposed to do something here, Jeff. What do you think?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true. We're supposed to
Yeah.
do something on this, aren't
Oh
we? Yeah.
yeah, we're doing an AIT. Oh yeah. It's like I could get sidetracked so easily. It's just I've got like whatever they call the after holiday after absent-mindedness for sure. And I'm sorry if you can hear my dog. My dog is like having a fit. You know, in the other in the back end of the house. I can hear it a little bit, so I imagine you guys can hear it louder. My apologies, she's being annoying. But the first one I picked for you is um it's a little odd. We don't kink shame here. This one's going to be a little bit a little bit about kink, but not really. It's really about communication when I read it. So we'll
Okay.
give it a start. You
Let's
ready,
give it.
Jeff?
Let's
Yeah.
give it a shot. Let's give it a whirl, then, eh?
Yeah, we'll give it a whirl then. Yeah. Okay. So, am I the asshole for not letting my brother come to my Christmas party? I'm 23 years old and my girlfriend is 22. And we had a small Christmas party the night of Christmas Day with a few of our friends. There are only 6 other people there, so it was pretty small. I have a big family, 6 other siblings, oldest being 28, youngest being 15. Me and my brother are a year apart, so we've always been very close. We've been best friends our entire lives. I don't want to invite him because I have parts of my life I don't want to share with him. Me and my girlfriend are big in the kink community, and so are our friends. I won't go into details, but this probably isn't something he'd want to go to. My friends are very open, and we didn't hold back on our conversations or what we wore to the party. The day after the party, I got a text from him asking why he wasn't invited. I told him that it was a party between friends and that we spent the beginning of the day together at a family party. But he got upset and called me to say that I left him out. I didn't want to explain why, because that is a part of my personal life I'd rather not share. Me and my girlfriend are very secretive of what we do in our bedroom. He got mad and said that he wouldn't care and he should have been invited, but I don't know how I feel with my brother seeing me like that. And he told my sister, and she agreed with him, saying if he's my best friend, I shouldn't leave him out. So, am I the asshole? It,
Oh,
ooh,
I
I know
don't
for me
know. I don't know.
it's
I don't think.
complicated,
I
right?
don't. I
It's
want to say.
complicated.
I want to say no because I think there are certain things you want to keep to yourself a bit, aren't there? And it's that's a difficult one. That's a
Yeah.
difficult one.
It,
Um,
it It is. You know what? I'll give you a minute to think about it then, because for
okay.
me, it
Yeah.
was about neither one of them are assholes. Like, I
No.
understand if they're best friends, why the brother feels a certain way, because he feels like perhaps his brother isn't trusting him with information about his life, like as if he would judge him. So by not telling him, he's actually kind of saying, well, you would judge me. And maybe the brother's not like that. Maybe, he would absolutely, accept anything, But
Maybe he
on
would.
the other
Yeah.
hand, I would be private too. Like, I don't think I would want my brothers and sisters, coming over if I was having any kind of party like that. And depending on what the kink is, like, let's just say, like, well, let's expand on it. They really didn't give us enough information. But let's say it's a furry party. Like, maybe, I don't want my brother or my sister seeing me dressed up like a big chicken or something. I don't know. Like, just the way that he said that they talk freely and they dress however they like. Maybe he just wanted his guests to be comfortable too. And
Yeah. I can and I can understand them not wanting to necessarily invite his brother because I've had the misfortune of accidentally walking in on a furry party once before, and it
mhm.
was I'd
Oh,
probably have
that's a
sooner have not.
story.
I'd have sooner had probably sooner had not have been there.
Yeah, because a little uncomfortable. Well, you weren't dressed appropriately for it, I guess. Right?
No, I mean, okay, I've got long hair, and at the time I had a full beard. That doesn't really qualify me as a furry.
No, but I can understand both sides of these. That's why, like, I was having trouble. Like, I don't know. I don't think anybody is really the asshole, except, they both could have did things better, right? That's always the
Yeah,
case,
it's
you know.
again, like I think what you said at the beginning, it's more a communication thing
Hmm.
there, really, and a misunderstanding. I feel so.
Hmm.
I couldn't really say either one of them said that the asshole in this one, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of a conversation. They are brothers. He could just say, it's not
Yeah,
about you, but my friends and I, we just wanted to be comfortable. You're not part of that community. And the other thing is, did he have to have it on Christmas Day? I mean, come on. Like,
I
family,
don't know.
people are going to know about it, you know? Yeah.
Maybe they're into a Santa kink or something. I don't know. It's up
Oh
to them.
no,
I know.
can you imagine? Oh, it was a reindeer thing. Yeah, I got the
Yeah,
visual now,
I
Jeff.
got
This is
the
bad.
I got yeah, I get I think how some people are into like pony play. Maybe it's reindeer play or something. I
Oh,
don't know.
I don't know, something like that. I'm gonna have to go research, I guess, for
Yeah,
mayhem now because I don't even know what that is. But anyway, but and no, I actually think, like most of these, it's all about compromise and communication. I don't think he should be, because you're friends. Here's the thing, you can be friends with lots of people from lots of different groups, right? And
yeah,
sometimes those groups don't mesh. Like, well, like if you have a party, sometimes you can't take group A and group B and put them in the same room, because maybe then it won't be a party. It'll be a debate or a debacle or something. So I understand him, not necessarily feeling like he should invite his brother. And the privacy issue, like, you're allowed to have boundaries. I mean, we
yeah,
all as individuals have things we don't want to share publicly, or only with certain people, or things, we areas that we just don't go into. And if that's the boundary he has with his family, that he enjoys that part of his life being kept completely private and separate, so he has that freedom to do whatever he wants, then he has every right to do that too.
yeah.
um he just has to be clear about it. That's my only issue with him, is to be a little
I,
more clear here.
I mean, my only thing is, if this is say this year or something that this happened, I do wonder. I'm going to assume there wasn't a lot of social distancing done at this particular party.
Mhm.
So
Oh yeah, so he could be protecting his brother in the long run,
yeah, I think
against
I
everything
mean
like that.
it may have been a
Yeah.
very altruistic thing to do. You know.
Yeah, you're right. It's just that, and his brother would understand that if they actually had a better conversation,
Yeah.
about it. I mean, I don't blame the brother for feeling a little hurt. My concern is, how did the brother find out about it? Like, how did they even know there was a party?
Oh, obviously, I
So
don't know. I mean, obviously, there was some sort of part. There must have been some sort of gathering that he must have been aware of, and but he
yeah,
just
they
said,
had.
"Yeah, it's just how's he do turn around and says, yeah, this ain't gonna, it's how do you kind of sort of gently say, this ain't gonna be your kind of party, kind of thing."
Right. And just say, it's just a couple of friends, we're doing whatever. You're not going to know anyone else there, or something,
Yeah,
or just have the conversation so he didn't feel so left out, because they are apparently close, since he knows. Since he knows about the party, he must have mentioned it at the thing. What is this here? It says, Raven says, if his brother is his best friend, shouldn't he be able to tell him it's part of a community he and his girlfriend are part of, that he's not comfortable sharing it? Yeah, that part of the conversation, to say it's not personal, and just absolutely,
I don't know.
absolutely.
I'm not gonna share my. I'm not gonna this. I'm not gonna share sort of what I'm into with my best friends. You
Right.
see, so
Well, it's private, right? You share that with who you're
neither would I
participating,
expect
whatever
them
it
to
was
share
with,
that with
or
me.
people that
Yeah,
understand, or part of that community. And we all have I mean, even though I do mayhem, which is pretty, out there, and we talk about sex, we talk about kink, we talk about everything. But does that mean I'm going to share all of my personal likes and dislikes? No.
we
Like,
already know about the duck.
yeah.
We already know about the duck porn, Claire.
Well, there's the ducks. Yes. That's just a fascination with the corkscrew. I mean, that's just like you know, that's just an oddity of nature that just had to be explored there, Jeff. I mean, it's just, you know,
Yeah,
I don't think anybody could publicly shame me for that, although they try all the time. But it's hard. It's hard to shame somebody who's actually, like, you know, doesn't take anything like that seriously. But yeah, but actually the serious stuff though, no, you know, like I'll talk about communication, I'll talk about relationships or everything, but you know, bedrooms have a door for a reason. You know, it's like they're private, safe spaces, like for a reason. So I understand him not wanting to share his personal info, and he might just be experimenting. He doesn't want to get tagged for this for life. And also, it's his brother and his sister, and I don't know if you have siblings, Jeff, but if I'm not sharing anything like that with my brothers and sisters because they're horrible, it would be the topic of conversation at every family gathering we ever had. I would be like, you know, the topic of conversation. Every jab they could get in, every dig, you know, they think it's
something
funny.
they'd hold over you. Let's tell you that now. That'd be something they'd probably hold over you.
Yeah, exactly. It would be, man, we are getting so many of those bots today.
Oh
Just do your
God,
thing.
they've been out in force recently,
Yeah.
the bots.
Yeah, they are. Those ones that leave the little programming thing, you know, they've been everywhere. I heard there's a program we can use to do that. But it looks like neither of us think that this guy is an asshole. Huh. I'm gonna put up the voting thing for a minute, and then I'm gonna read it once. This gets to be so quite a lot to say every time. So I'm going to say it this one, you know, 2 or 3, and like, yeah, we've got quite a few of them there, Miranda. They're coming in. But you know what? You know what? You probably somebody, Sandy was doing it at the same time. That happens often, but it looks like Jay got that last one. So, if you do it at the same time, sometimes it looks like you hide and then unhide. Well, it happens to me all the time. Well, yeah. Get to work, Jay. Get to work. You know. All right. So if you think that the operator, which is the man who threw the party, is the asshole, vote number 1. If you think the other party, the brother whose feelings are hurt because he didn't get invited to the kink party, vote number 2. If you think they're both assholes, vote number 3. If, of course, 4 is yay duck porn, and 5 is the beer fun.
I already know where I'm voting.
Yeah, the bear fun for boys and boobies, and that would be the GoFundMe, the imaginary GoFundMe for getting me into a strip club. And number 6 is everyone everywhere is an arsehole, because this is true. I mean, 6 is just true all the time, but some of us are really nice. I just saw your vote. No, some of us are really nice and own our asshole. Like we when we're an asshole, we own it. Like myself, I am an asshole on a regular basis. I'm always putting my foot in my mouth, doing something stupid, and I will own it every single time, because, you know, why not? You know. Number 8, Chris is always the asshole. Gosh, he's such a good asshole, our mate. Number 8. Number 9 is Reverend is the asshole. He's back to dropping that damn drop bear in the Discord in every room, so he's moving up there. Number 11 is Bear needs a laser beam. That's our little nod to Matthew. We just love our laser beams. I could talk laser beams with Matthew like all day. Number 42 is Jay, is that coffee hating asshole. And in case y'all don't know, that would be True Cereal over there. So like, have at him. He's being very, very bad today. I don't know what got into him. I'm not used to this. I'm getting scared, Jay. You're scaring me. Number 69. If you put 69 in the chat in any of my streams or anywhere I am, please put a phone number, because anything else, you're just being a tease and it's just not right. That's a channel rule. Don't put 69 without a number. It doesn't have to be yours, but it should be someone's. Okay. All right. On that.
Hold on, let me Google Kent Hovink's phone number.
You're going to stop putting Kent Hovind.
I'm going with 8. Yeah, I'll have to do the number 8 here with Chris, because it's what I believe it's what Steve McRae would call a metaphysical necessity.
You know what? We always go with 8. You know, we're going to get that trending. You know.
Yeah.
metaphysical. It's a metaphysical necessity. I believe.
Yeah, I believe
think,
that's what I believe the term Steve McRae would use for it. Yeah.
yeah, I think we're gonna have to change the hashtag just for that. I really do. Or it's like all the numbers for me. It's like I never know what to vote, but I actually don't think there's an asshole as far as the AIT itself.
No.
Neither one of them. Like you said, just communication and compromise. The only asshole would be with Chris, of course, are magnificent, the best asshole. I actually miss. Don't tell Chris, but I miss him. Shh, don't tell him. But it's been too long. I can't wait for Hereticals to start again. Well, what he just likes being me. Is there a number for no asshole? No, only the one that is everybody in the world. You could pick that one, or just say no. Vote one of anything else. Like, because I actually don't have that. We're gonna have to add that to there somewhere. I'm gonna have to change them up again for the new year. I'll work on that, Miranda. And suggestions, like there were so many on the last one. The writing was so tiny, I had to get rid of like at least 8 of them to just fit what I did now. But we can move them around and add another one. But that one wasn't so bad, huh? You ready for another,
That's
Jeff?
quite nice. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
quite a sort of straightforward one to begin with, wasn't
yeah,
it?
it wasn't too bad. See, I told you I would be
You're
kind.
breaking
Yeah.
me in gently on this, yeah.
Yeah, I am a kind bear, until I'm
Yeah.
not. But I'll always be kind in the beginning, you know? Okay. Oh God.
Oh,
Okay.
by the way, cool. I found Kent Hovind's phone number, so I know what I'm going to do
Oh,
next time.
I just so look forward to that. We're gonna
Yeah.
spread Ken Elvin's phone number around with 69. That's gonna be something. And don't worry, Raven. I'm not. Yeah, don't let Chris know. Yeah, yeah. You think he's spying, Sandy? Well, then he heard. Okay, well, it'll go to his head. Okay, so this one annoyed me. I'm gonna just see how the chat feels about this one. And Jeff, kind of sort of got a guy fired for making me cry. Was I in the wrong? Okay. I go to a cancer hospital about a 5-hour drive from my hometown every several months for checkups. Everyone at the hospital either has or had, cancer. At the time, I needed help loading and unloading my wheelchair. So if I couldn't bring a friend or a relative, I'd use the hospital valet parking. And this normally happened without incident until the day in question. And I was waiting at an intersection to turn into the valet line, and the line was 2 city blocks long. The man directing traffic told me to make the block, which would have put me at the end of the line. He said to take the first left and then do a U-turn. Well, I tried to follow his instructions, but they were very unclear, and I ended up in the wrong spot. It was an accident. I wasn't trying to be difficult. I just misunderstood his instructions. Finally, I'm in the valet line, and the attendant comes to help unload my chair and take my keys. And the traffic director came over and yelled at me, said I shouldn't be driving, even though nobody was harmed and there was no accident. I just made a wrong turn. It really upset me, though, and I started to tear up. Well, about 15 minutes later, my doctor comes in to see me and can tell that I had been crying and asked why. I told him the truth, not thinking anything would come of it. But it turned out he had the guy fired for yelling at a cancer patient. I feel awful. I didn't want him fired. I just thought they'd send a "don't yell at cancer patients" memo. So now I ask all of you, am I the asshole?
That's a simple no.
She
That's
is
a
not the
very
asshole, right?
simple no.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
no, because it's just if we're going just on the story that's been
Yeah.
put there. She just got cried. She told the truth. But she wasn't like she wasn't saying, "I want this out. I want this prick fired."
Exactly.
That wasn't the intention. And you don't know. You see, here's the thing. Could this have been? Was this necessarily the first time that this guy had done something like this? You don't know, do you?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think if they fired him, I would say no, because
Hmm.
like you can get into trouble in human resources if you overreact on an incident.
Yeah.
Like every employee is supposed to have recourse. And he may have been on thin ice already if they took that opportunity to can him. That they just like he's just upset too
Yeah,
many
I
people.
get, I get the impression from that if he got canned, the chances are he's probably he might have been
Hmm.
on a he might have been on a warning already.
Yeah,
That'd be
because
my guess.
especially something big like a hospital, they're not going to get into risk legally and human resources by just canning you for an overreaction. Like there's a whole process that has to take
There's,
place.
yeah,
So for him to get fired, he was probably on his third strike, and that was it. They didn't even have to do anything, but the incident got reported, and boom, he's
yeah,
gone. Because usually, first incident, there's a whole big thing. You get like you come in for an interview, then they have some kind of like little investigation of it, and then they decide what to do with you, whether you need retraining or something,
yeah.
because especially in a hospital, you're dealing with people
Yeah,
that
I
are
think
going through stuff.
generally, I mean, generally, I'd say if he'd never done anything like this before, I imagine he'd have got a talking to by whoever
Yeah,
his boss was. Is what I
yeah.
think would have happened. So
Hmm.
I'm just going off of that. I'm probably I'm making assumptions here, but I'm going to assume this probably wasn't the first time he fucked up.
I would think so too. Raven says his words were more extreme than just yelling. He needs to find a job where he doesn't work with the sick or with dying people. Exactly. I'm sure that's what the hospital is thinking too. The attendant has probably done this before. It does
Yeah,
sound like perhaps he has an attitude problem, you know. I sadly have been in that situation like this. I kept it to myself, but I had something like that happen. I'm sorry, Miranda. I have been also, and all I can tell you is we can only be responsible for ourselves. There are assholes everywhere, and I have to give this person actually, and yourself like credit for not being overly aggressive about the person. They're giving him more grace than he is giving to the world, actually. She's like, I don't want him to be fired. I feel terrible. She's trying to see it from his side, and he definitely wasn't, doing that thing. He was probably an asshole every day. He probably, it sounds like he's got some issues. I would
yeah.
agree.
I
Mm.
I think I mean I'm guessing looking at what the reactions to the chat. I think this is a pretty much a slam dunk of who the
Yeah.
asshole in this one is.
Oh yeah, but like I mean, and the grace that she's giving him by saying that she didn't want him to be fired, I have to give her credit for. She's going through a hard thing, and she's still
Yeah,
thinking about other people. I mean, that's a good person, right there. So she didn't deserve to be yelled at like that, and she felt bad because she knows she messed up traffic, and she's like
mm,
saying, "I just made a wrong turn. I'm not trying to do anything on purpose." He's being overly aggressive about it. I don't know what was his problem, but if he just would switch and put himself in everybody else's shoes, he might lighten up a little bit.
yeah,
Raven says she had a similar incident as well. I let her know in no uncertain terms that she's dealing with people who are sick, and she doesn't need to make people feel like they don't want to go to a doctor. Exactly.
exactly.
Like, what if that was the thing that just made it too much for her? Like, you never
Mm,
know if your unkindness is going to be the one thing that makes it just too much for somebody to deal with, and they just like walk away from a situation, or other, like
I mean, I'm gonna say I've had nothing like that happen to me as such, but so I know to my ex girlfriend something sort of happened at a hospital with a doctor, and I actually had to. I was the one actually encouraged her. I would report that bloody doctor for the way they
Mhm.
spoke. You know.
It's a shame that people don't do that. When especially someone dealing with the public, don't be afraid to make your feelings known if you feel something is too aggressive or inconsiderate, especially a doctor, a nurse, anybody in the medical field. Yes, they have to be pretty matter of fact sometimes, and they can hurt our feelings because, like, let's face it, we probably hear a lot of shit we don't want to hear when we're in the doctor's office, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
we feel, yeah. And so there's a delicate thing, but when they're going out of their way to make you feel small, they cannot improve. And I know this for a fact from being, years working with with white coats, so to speak. They can have attitude problems. They need to be told that their bedside manner sucks when it sucks, because it can't get better. if they don't know, and people are afraid to tell them. I'm happy that in the practices I was in, they were open to at least listening to it, and some of them, would take it into consideration. There are those that just have a complex. We used to, we call it a holier than thou complex, like a god complex. I mean, they deal with life and death, and they're very well educated, so it's very easy to become arrogant or to act like they are arrogant. Well, some of them have to do that just to get through the day. If you can imagine what they deal with, the amount of people and suffering that some of them have to deal with on a daily basis, they may appear colder than they actually are just to get through, but they need the information so they can soften their outer image. So don't be afraid to talk to them, like anyone. I know it's hard because you feel like when you're in that room, it definitely feels like there's an imbalance in power, but in a good relationship between a doctor and a patient, it should be 50-50, the communication in the power there. So, yeah, we just speak up. But I feel for that woman. I really do. But she handled it with such grace, She really did. And Krabby says, lack of understanding from doctor staff is exactly why I don't go to doctors any longer. That's unfortunate. People, I could tell you from experience also that the staff can make or break an office. You get a couple of assholes in there and you start losing patients left and right. And that was part of my job, was, to de-asshole the staff on a regular basis. But it probably makes me good for this. Life skills, Jeff.
Exactly.
Miranda says she's doing okay. She's nervous about the weekend, though, because Saturday it's going to drop 40 degrees in a few hours. Oh, you know what? Pain and cold, I get that. I'm sorry. I didn't see that was for Doc, but I get that, Miranda, and I hope that you could stay warm and it doesn't get too bad. Tina says she can't stand in doctors anymore. She refused to go. Medical gaslighting is real. Oh, I wasn't bashing on the whole profession. I'm more upset about the attendant, to tell you the truth. But am I the asshole for not that knowing he got fired makes me happy? That makes her even less of an asshole. You know what? You're not an asshole. I was kind of happy he maybe his attitude will change. It sounded like he needed an awakening. I'm sorry he's going to lose his job to get it, but I don't think it was his first strike. There's a big organization. There's no way they would have just canned him on one.
So yeah.
Oh, no, but I think we're all in agreement with that one. We're gonna vote real quick, and I'll go on to the next one.
And I told you I wasn't lying about what I was going to do in the chat about with the 69, didn't I? I told you I wasn't
you
going
could
to lie.
go right ahead. You could
Oh,
put
it's
that.
in
There you go.
In the chat.
Oh, you even put his name. Porn calls only. People.
Hey, listen, he puts that number. He puts that number out himself publicly. Okay, so this isn't the docs or anything. So
no, I would never accuse. You would never do that anyway. You would never dox anybody anymore.
Yeah,
good. Yeah, but I mean,
anyone who's seen him on a stream will tell you he puts that number out himself regularly. Okay, so that's not a dox.
I'm gonna have to help you. I'm gonna put it too. I have to put. Look, I'm putting 69 in my own chat. What kind of a pervert am I today? Oh my god. That's okay. So if you call him, just call him with the good stuff, people. Make it worth it. Because maybe the next thing he puts out will be much more entertaining than the last few things we saw. Hey, like the double denim. Oh my god, I'm still not over that. I'm traumatized.
We're not saying you should call him. We'll just be clear about that.
No.
We're not saying you should call him, and we're being very clear.
No, we just put his phone number in there and his name, but don't call him. don't call him. It's like, no, I'm just joking, people, and I'm sure you know that. And if not, well, that's on, I have no control. We're going to go on to the next one. We'll see what we got. Yeah. This one's good because this happens a lot in friend groups, unfortunately. Let's see. Okay. All right. You ready, people? Would I be the asshole if I told someone they didn't actually get into the college that they thought they need? So my cousin's girlfriend dropped out of high school, got her GED a few years later, got her associates from the local community college, and then got into a bachelor's program. All that is great, and I commend her for it. However, she thinks she got into this really prestigious school when she didn't. She got into a program associated with the school. It's called their professional program. That isn't the actual school. The program she got into has a 70% acceptance rate, while the actual school only has an acceptance rate under 20. She started posting about it on Facebook, which was a little annoying, but it's not like I'm going to say something to bring her down when she's doing something positive for her life. However, she's now started essentially attacking people who didn't get into this school. There's been a few people in her life who applied and got rejected to this school, and she's basically called them stupid for not getting in, or said that she's so much smarter than them. Overall, this girl is a pretty awful person. I've made some other posts about her if you want to check my post history for more details. That, coupled with her being awful to people about this, makes me want to tell her that she didn't actually get into that school. Would this make me an asshole? Edit. Just to clarify, I wouldn't call her out over this on social media. It would be in person. I wouldn't be out there. It wouldn't be out there for anyone else to see, which is actually pretty darn kind considering, you know.
See, I would be the asshole and call her out publicly on social media.
You and me, Jeff. I was just formulating the text in my head that I'd be putting on Twitter. It's just like, oh hell, she's out there
That's
being
not
all,
interesting. I just put Hovin's number in the chat, and then all of a sudden we going to people who didn't necessarily go to colleges that are as prestigious as they make out. Isn't that amazing segue?
It is amazing segue. It's like the stars aligned for us. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe would be really funny if you showed up. Like it would be like it would say, "Oh hi Jeff, how are you? Merry Christmas." But no, I really think the person who is claiming this, feeling all that about the school.
I'd just be having a glass of water on the stream, not beer.
Just water.
So I can't do it as well as Dr. Josh does it, but
No, Dr. Josh does a great. Oh my God, it's
he's brilliant, isn't he?
He's brilliant. You guys, if you want to see, there's an account called Not the Real Ken Hovind on TikTok. It's Dr. Josh, and he does Ken Hovind impersonation that is just banging brill. It's freaking awful, and it's so good. It's so bad, it's good. He makes a good Hovind for sure. Much more entertaining than the real one, I can tell you that. much more entertaining. But yeah. Jeff, I saw you just join TikTok. Is the rumor true?
I have. I don't know. I don't know how often I'm going to post on there. I just think if I'm in the mood for doing something a bit stupid, I think I'll go on TikTok.
Yeah. Well, you sure did enter TikTok with a glorious song that I'm not going to play or repeat, by the way, but it was pretty good.
By the way, next time you're on a stream with Stool, he's going to request you sing that.
Well, I'm not. I don't know. Hello, Randolph. Welcome.
Hey, Randolph.
Hey. Well, anyway. So, who's the asshole in this one?
On the basis of that the girl seems to have got seems to have gotten a bit big-headed because she thinks she's got into some sort of prestigious school that she hasn't really gotten into. I think if it's true that she has gone around and started belittling other people for not getting in, she's kind of the asshole in this, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. And it seems like, she's going overboard. I mean, the other person, even though they know that she's being such a jerk about the whole thing, I mean, let's be honest, she's really going overboard, calling people stupid and everything and making fun of them for not getting into the same school. That's a little much, I mean, feel good about your accomplishment, but it kind of takes away from your accomplishment when you're putting other people down for it in anything. Like, be proud of what you do, but you don't like besmirch other people about it. It just makes you look,
No, you don't belittle other
bad.
people.
Yeah.
You don't
It's,
belittle other people about it at all.
yeah.
No.
You're supposed to you uplift other people. You don't do that. It's so like I gotta give the woman credit for not wanting to post it publicly. I don't think I could contain myself
Oh no! See,
because
this is what I'm saying. I would be a complete asshole back in this situation.
yeah,
I would be like on social media. So, hey, bitch, you didn't get. No, you didn't get into. You did not get into Oxford University. You got into a
right.
university in Oxford, sort of thing, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. I could just see my post now. Like I would be pulling the ad for the professional part of it, and then I would be posting that and like how like okay, maybe we need to redefine the word stupid when you're posting about a school that you don't actually attend, because isn't this where you're going? Like hello,
Yeah.
like I think you need to readdress a few people. Apologies are necessary. Like you stop making them now, you might catch up. Yeah, I think I'd be a little mean about it. Because she's hurting other people, and that always makes me a little ruffles the bear's fur a bit. Makes me a little soapbox standing and you know preachy, in a way.
So
But
So the original poster, no, not the asshole in this. The
nope.
fact that she's sort of saying, "I just want to take her to what." So she's asking about, should I just take her to one side and have a word with her?
Yep.
Where
Exactly.
I'd be like, ah, fuck,
Yeah.
I would fucking humiliate her publicly.
Exactly, but at least this original poster is doing it the right way. Which under other circumstances, if she wasn't so arrogant, like because that really annoys me, I would probably be saying, "Oh, there's got to be a better way to do it," you know. But she's doing the right thing by saying she would do it privately, and I think she should do that like right away. Like I don't even know why she's hesitating. I would be like, get on the phone and tell her, girl, just like you don't know how stupid you sound right now, for her own benefit, especially if she's kind of
Yeah,
friends with her. Although it doesn't
little
sound
bit of
like she is, but
looks sort of
you
like
know,
bit of tough love there, if anything.
yeah. Oh, always creative says she knows an attorney that tells people he went to law school at Oxford. He just doesn't tell them it was in Oxford, Mississippi. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I like that.
How
I like that.
clever. That's a very clever lawyer. That's very clever. He knows he's not going to get in trouble. He's just like
I think
manipulating the information. Yeah,
that's very. Well,
that's good.
you said I've got a law degree from Oxford. Yeah, people will draw their own conclusions from that. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that
To be
I
honest,
definitely
slightly admitting the truth is good practice to be a lawyer anyway. So
it manipulate the truth constantly. Like
yeah,
they have to take the facts and then present the story in a different way that actually benefits them, and it is quite creative and very clever, and you got to be brilliant to do it. And some of the best, like they're just like, what I mean, everybody gives the profession, they say shyster, this that, whatever, don't trust the lawyer, but that is actually their job on both sides, is to take the same set of facts and portray a story that most benefits their side rather than the other side, and they have to use the same exact information. So it's not easy to do, but some of them are really, really, really good at it. You know,
mm,
it's like, I don't watch a lot of oral presentations that they do, when they do their speeches and stuff, but I love reading the briefs, and sometimes the snark and the it just comes right through. Like you can just tell some of them are like really good at it, or at least their paralegal clerks are who wrote it, but it's like, I'm going to vote that the other person is the asshole on this one. You vote number one if you think the writer, the op writer, the one who knows about the situation and is having an issue with it, is the asshole. You vote number one. Number two would make the girl who's going around, bashing people for not getting into the same school that she did, although she has not actually got into the school that she thought she did. So it's a little weird. And apparently she's a problem, because they did mention that she's been the topic of quite a few Reddit posts. So it's not a very popular person at all. Maybe she does need the public shaming then, Jeff, because she keeps doing it, you know?
Yeah, I think we're getting a few twos here in the chat now, Claire.
Yeah,
We're
I
getting a
think we're
few
all
twos.
agreeing with us. They're all agreeing. What about those 42s, though? You know, you shouldn't let Jay get away with this stuff, people. Well, don't forget our mate, number 8. But anyway, yeah, I think they all agree with us on this one. I don't see anybody gonna actually go for the other one, you know. So there you boy, Jeff, we are cooking along. We got like another
Yeah.
15. Oh, yeah. You might finish them all. You're a record, like for a record. This one, this one, this one's gonna be this one. Okay, this one's kind of okay. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna read it. It's like okay,
Okay.
ready. Okay, okay. Okay. Am I the asshole for arguing with the person at DMV about my eye color? And here in America, DMV is the Division of Motor Vehicle. I'm sure you do what you call it there in
It's the
England.
DVLA, we call it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the DVLA. I'm sure you have the same issues there that we have here with the staff and the personnel that work there. Well, we have issues here in the States. This is the stupidest thing ever, but here we go. My eyes are green and blue, and sometimes look gray depending on the lighting and whatever color I'm wearing. I used to just put blue for the eye color, but about 10 years ago, I had a DMV employee change it to green after he told me that blue was not the predominant color in my eyes. I've left it as green ever since, and it's never been an issue. Except now, it's suddenly an issue. A couple of months ago, I moved to a new state and I had to get a new license. They let my husband and me schedule back-to-back appointments and come in together. I filled out the application, handed it over, and waited while the person we had at our appointment with looked over my husband's application. She was friendly with my husband and joked around with him about the process. When she got to me, her entire demeanor changed, from happy and friendly to the stereotypical DMV employee. As she was inputting my application, she said, I don't know who you're trying to fool, but your eyes aren't green, and I'm going to have to change that. While I thought she was a bit rude about it, I did say, no problem, just switch it to blue. She looked at me like I was an idiot, obviously my own interpretation, and then said, your eyes are obviously brown to anyone who actually pays attention. I'm changing it to that. I told her that she could put blue or green, but not brown, because my eyes clearly aren't brown. We argued back and forth before she finally told me she was putting my eye color as brown, or I could get out without a new license. I said, fine, whatever. I got my new license with the wrong eye color. My husband let me vent in the car, and when we laughed about how stupid and inconsequential the whole thing was. Turns out it's not actually inconsequential. My new job required a high security clearance, and the facility was very strict security protocols. I have to show both my badge and a non-expired photo ID every time I enter the building, both of which are scrutinized. I've been denied entry 6 times since getting my new ID because not only does the eye color printed on my license not match their records, it also doesn't match my fucking eyes. My husband brought this whole ordeal up at a Christmas dinner with my family as a funny story, and I mentioned that I had to explain to my supervisor what happened, and he was going to contact whoever was in charge at the DMV to get it fixed. My new corrected license was mailed to me 2 weeks later. I got it 3 days ago. But my mom told me that I was an asshole because I probably got that poor girl fired, and she was just trying to do her job. God. What is it with everybody getting fired today? I didn't realize I picked so many. I don't know. Of firing people at Christmas. Huh?
I'm just trying to process out this whole story to like how her eye colors have gone from green to blue to brown, and
well, people that have hazel eyes, okay,
yeah,
there's like, and my sister has, like, we all have very dark brown eyes in my family, except my sister. She has hazel eyes, and they are like a greenish blue, and they change color depending on what she's wearing, it's right. But sometimes they do look a little like beigey brown, like a very, very light brown, but I can't imagine like brown, like that, why that woman would say that. But there is a category that you could put hazel down, like, and that kind of fix it. I think they changed that at DMV, which makes the story funny to me. But I don't know if the
thought
category is
RTVLA was bad, but Christ, I don't think we'll
yeah.
ever have these kind of
Yeah.
problems with them.
You're right, Raven. Greenish blue isn't hazel, but I'm thinking hazel because the other one kept saying brown. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking maybe they're like my sisters, but the greenish blue, there is eyes that go from green to blue, definitely. Like not like green.
Kind of, yeah, it's almost
yeah, but they go back and forth. But either way, don't argue with the person. They know what color their eyes are. Like, and she could see on the old license what they put down. So why is that? I just think that DMV employee was a little much.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have. I can't believe out of all of the things, this is the one the chat we're gonna argue back and forth with the chat about the eye color on this one. Okay, hazel is a color, but greenish blue isn't hazel. I agree with Raven there because hazel does have a bit of brown to it. My eyes are considered hazel, but they go between brown and greenish, and that's Miranda. And then Raven says brown, green, or brown gold. Yes, that is more like a hazel. Although my sister's does have a little blue in it too. It's kind of weird. The staff members should have asked other employees for a second opinion. Yeah, put it to a vote. Exactly. Instead of arguing with the woman, Raven says hers are greenish blue and can be gray or dark depending on my current health. So Raven, what do they call yours on your license, if you don't mind? Do they go back and forth? Has this ever happened to you? But this is bizarre to me that this woman took it this far. I mean, the actual DMV employee took it that far. I can understand the other woman.
So it says that I just did want to Google something. It says the iris is classified as being one of 6 colors: amber, blue, brown, gray, green, hazel, or red. Those are sort of like, which I assume that those. So I'd imagine that would be like official classifications.
You would think, but it is like a government agency.
I'd have thought hazel would have been a very, satisfactory thing to put on a driving license.
I think it should be, because there are a lot of people that have it. It should be a whole classification. So like, I'm wondering. Yep. Okay. So Raven says, and she's saying this with a little bit of angst here, that her license says that hers are hazel because someone messed up it 15 years ago on DMV. I'm sorry that this story kind of relates
and
there.
That's how Raven met Jay.
Right with misclassification. In this new world, you can have whatever description you like. Exactly. In some cases, this is true. Yes, your iron level, for example, will make the starburst more prominent and change the color. Good point, Raven. Very, very good point there. So depending on, your iron levels when you go to the DMV, but still the employee arguing with the woman about what color her eyes are. And I really feel bad. You know what? You never think about that. But in the new world, like students said, we have to go through security checks in buildings and everything. And your license is your photo ID here in America.
If it's become a thing where this is obviously becoming an issue in this girl's life,
it is
now. This is what the point of this post is. This is what's become the issue. Then that this is now actually becoming an issue of her life, of what her work. Doesn't she kind of have to get this sorted out? So
she does.
So I'm sorry, her mother. Why? Yeah, no, she's not the asshole in this situation.
No, I don't think the operator is.
Yeah. Now, whether or not the girl at the DMV was the asshole, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. They do give them training on making sure everything matches, because people use it for ID now. So maybe she actually thought she was doing her job the best that she could. You know, I do think she had a damn bit of an attitude. The things that she said to the woman were not
there's a bit of
exactly
attitude
professional. They weren't professional. They had quite a bit of attitude. Like, you don't say to somebody, I don't know who you think you're fooling. Like, your eyes are, you know, whatever. Like, she kind of came at her from the start with a little bit of an attitude. And I do give the operator credit for laughing it off with her husband and just like not making a big deal at the DMV. Like, you know, they just got out of there. They got their license. They just went. Because you kind of know the more trouble you try to make in a place like that, they're just going to push you aside and you're just not going to get what you want until they deal with it and make
It
it
can be something,
difficult
and
for you.
it does in a sort of way does sort of sound like a sort of maddening bureaucracy you deal with when you deal with anything. Like with even with the DVLA in Britain, you know, I'm
Yeah.
assuming the TMV's not.
Yeah. Here's what Randolph was listening very carefully to the whole thing because he says, so the DMV employee was bordering on flirtatious with the husband and then gave the attitude to the wife. Yeah, that's a problem.
Actually, that's a good point. Actually,
that's
yeah,
a good. I thought that.
I forgot
Yeah.
that. 'Cause I was thinking, yeah, she seems to be being a bit. She seems to be a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And that doesn't speak well for the woman's attitude at
That
work.
actually. Yeah, I've come to think about it now. See, I also almost overlooked that aspect of the story, really.
Yeah. But
I
she
think
was
Randolph's got
being
a
all
point there.
nice. She was joking around with them
Yeah,
and
she
being
was
all
being all
nice.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the wife noticed because she did bother to mention it. Like that's why she was probably so taken aback when the woman was so rude to her right away because she was trying not to overreact, you know. Yeah, it is. It's like, what's going on there? You know, but actually, mom, I'm a little disappointed in mom, Jeff. I really am because, like, don't you get the security issue? And your daughter's been kicked out of the building 6 times and had to go through all this hassle of explaining what's going on with her license and everything and proving who she is. And there's no sympathy there. She's more worried about this stranger who was hitting on her on her son-in-law.
Yeah.
And the DM. I don't know. There's some underlining issue there, but all right. Oh, let's vote. We have a few minutes here to finish up. I know what I'm voting. I don't know about
Well,
you.
I guess I'm going to put a 2 on the basis that I think the girl in the DMV it was the asshole in this one. So I'm going to
say 2 and mom. Like I think mom's an asshole. Sorry, mom, but you're an asshole.
I'm not entirely sold on the mom. I'm not entirely sold. Yeah, I don't think she's. I don't think she's getting the situation at all. But I don't know that she's. I'm not sold on. I'm not 100% sold on mum in this one. You know.
Oh, Randall. He says, I wonder, might the DMV staff member be partly colorblind? Well, that's a whole nother can of worms. Then I don't think they should.
It's possible, but then again, Randolph, as you pointed out, if she's colorblind, that still doesn't necessarily excuse her being a bit flirty with the husband, does it?
Yeah, it's true. You know, well, maybe she couldn't tell what color his eyes are, but she liked everything else. I mean, I don't know. No.
Yeah.
Definitely, mom. Definitely. You know,
maybe,
I am sold on mom.
Maybe it wasn't the eyes she was checking out on him.
Obviously not. She was looking elsewhere. But if she is actually you know, colorblind, I don't know if she should be working the counter where they do the licenses because you do have to check what the people look like, you know, and that things match up. It's part of the job. And I don't want to discriminate against any kind of, you know, handicap or disability, but there are some, like, I don't know what amendments they could make that would help with that. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing they can put in place for her to be able to do that part of the job adequately if she was. So I don't know. I'm definitely thinking number 2 for sure on this one. It looks like some of the chat. Raven's with me. She's totally sold on mom. Mom's an asshole too. I say the DMV's an asshole in general. Like that, I just say that regularly. Like right now, I can't even go in to get my address changed or anything. You know.
It's anything where you're dealing with like maddening bloody bureaucracy. Yeah, it's almost it's designed to make people assholes, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's just it is a very stressful because of all the anytime there's like multiple forms to fill out, multiple lines, all of this stuff. It's like bureaucracy. That's all the stressful situation to deal with anyway.
Our classic one is like we don't actually say how like you in America see what's a bit different. You actually go to this place, physical DMV, to speak to people.
Mm-hmm.
You try to actually speak to someone at the DVLA in Britain because you would spend hours navigating their automated telephone system before you ever get to speak to a human being.
Right. So you don't get to go into a location. Well, right now they're not giving us appointments at the DMV now.
I mean, it's all stuff you kind of. It's generally stuff you get it all. Similar thing with the passport office in the UK, where you get all the things you need, you get them signed off or whatever. Then all the next documentation. Then you obviously send it off by mail or whatever to passport. Same. That's kind of what happens with the DVLA. You try actually get into, generally if you deal with anyone on a face-to-face basis, it's a post office.
Right. Oh man, I'll tell you. We right now we do most of it online and everything, and they do give appointments for things like vehicle registrations and changing of plates and things like that. But you have to make an appointment. Everything's not completely, at least in my state. Here in the United States, the DMVs are all run by the individual states. So there's like 50 different offices. So like whatever I tell you about New Jersey, Ohio, or California could tell you something different.
I actually I do remember one time, this going back years ago, the guy, he's retired now, but the guy who was my boss at the time, what we knew he was driving around with no tax on his vehicle. And because we used to actually there used to be like a little thing you had to display it in your window with the tax, and we very cleverly, like a friend of mine, we sort of give us a sort of like he swapped he had a whole book of SIM cards which he swapped into my phone to make it look like this phone call was coming from Wales, which is where our DVLA thing is. Located in a town called Swansea in Wales. So we phoned up my boss, and I was pretending to be. I put on this really bad Welsh accent, but I had him on the phone for about 15 minutes. So, we'd like to talk to you about your road tax, Mr. Sir.
Oh God!
And I put all my work colleagues on speaker, like just to.
That's too funny. Yeah. Don't mess with Jeff. He's gonna crank call you. Don't do it. It's like I was like, but this was fun, Jeff. This was actually quite fun. I think they all agree with us about number 2. Some of them are divided about mom, and most of us from the United States agree that
Did we
the
actually
DMV
have one where the actual OP was the asshole in this stream? I don't know if we have.
Not yet. Very rarely the operator. Yeah. Well, no, I could say we've had quite a few, but usually if it's the operator, they're really, really bad. Like we can't even say just asshole. Like we don't even just say arsehole. We call them like ass canyons, because it's that bad. Like ass canyons, they're so bad. Somebody had made up that term in the chat a while ago, but no. Usually, if it's the operator, they're usually it's not just pretty offensive.
It's like the full eye of Sauron, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But on that, it's been an hour, Jeff. This was really pleasant. Maybe next time you have a holiday, you'll come back and play with us some more.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're always welcome, Mayhem, or anywhere I am. I'd love to see you in the chats.
I try to make it some more mayhems, but it's not.
Well, it's quite late for you. Yeah. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. I can imagine.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the time you sort of moved it to Fridays or Friday going into Saturdays now. So it's just which is generally when I've got to get up and go to work. So
oh gosh, that's not good. Yeah. Well, then that was a bad move for me on your part.
Yeah, so a lot of the time I'm listening in, even if I'm not in the chat, So
I appreciate that. Well, thank you, and anything you think we can do to make it better, just let me know because we're always looking for ideas and suggestions. But I was happy to move it for Fridays, mostly for the squad because it's at the end of the week, and more of the actual Bear squad who's up on panel with me can be there more consistently. And thank you
absolutely.
all in chat, and thanks for giving Jeff such a warm welcome and make it Jay behave. Thank you for pulling that out and everybody being so tolerant. You're a lot of fun. You guys make this worth it every time. I can't thank you enough for your participation. And thank you for all your comments in chat. Thank you, Randolph. Also, you got a thank you here from Randolph for a good show, Jeff. See that?
Yep.
Yeah, thank
Cheers,
you.
Randolph.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you all. And on that, I'll put the outro on and see you guys in the chat for a few minutes.
By the way,
Thanks,
if anyone wants to sub to my channel, I have put the link in the chat.
Yes.
So
I put the link is in the chat. Also, Jeff is listed down below, his Twitter too. It's pretty funny sometimes. And go check him out. He's singing a great song over on TikTok. I'll let you be surprised. You go over there and find him. It's like it was pretty good. Knocked my socks off. Like I might have to sing it one time for Mayhem. We'll just see. But on that, I'll put the outro on.
Not when Stall is about.
Well, he would enjoy it, wouldn't he? I mean,
he would love it.
Maybe once in a while.
Love it if you say he would love it on so many levels. If you,
I just don't understand that. Maybe you could explain that to me sometime. I just don't get it. But I'm glad he got happy for the holiday.
Maybe off there.
Maybe off. Okay, because he did get quite happy for the holiday. I said it enough, but by the time, I got to the last stream, I was like, no, that's enough. I can't keep saying this word.
We don't want to spoil him, do we? We don't want to spoil him.
Mm-hmm. Wait, I could get quite the reputation. That would be terrible,
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're a very respectable bear, and we
yes, every day but Friday night. Yes, I am. Okay.
Well, that's when you're drop Claire, isn't it? Though.
No, that's on Friday mornings. Apparently, that's my new name, and I protested loudly, strongly. I don't want to be drop Claire. I don't want nothing to do with those damn drop bears. To tell you the truth, I don't. They're scary. But anyway, on that, I'll see you all later tonight. If you're around 8 o'clock, I'll be with Jay. We're going to talk about Catherine Knight tonight on the legal updates and true crime stories. And she's a winner. If you don't know about her, get ready. I'll see you guys later. Thank you again, Jeff. You're a lovely guest. I look forward to this again.
Claire. I've enjoyed this. Okay. This was a lot of fun.
I know, cool. All right. Here we go.